we talk about Taigong, so I'll tell you my thought on it anyway. Taigong is an idea, and please feel free to interrupt with questions if anybody has any questions anytime, okay? Understand?
Yeah.
What I'm going to say applies, in my opinion, to all good Kung Fu, no matter what the style is, if we're talking about internal methods. Okay? We must develop the proper internal condition, internal and external, condition of our bodies, which involves relaxing, opening, and the whole reason for all of that is so we can move all parts of ourselves freely. Every part of you, which means every joint, needs to be free to rotate, to move at any time, not get stuck or locked in. Because it's only through movement that we produce power. No movement, no power. Okay? So movement is always accomplished by joints. Taigong is an idea that helps us get into the proper condition so we can move even when we're faced with resistance. Because resistance, if he provides resistance, and I tense, you all know this, then my joint's not free to rotate, so I get stuck. Then if he's stronger, okay, plus I get tired fighting him. But if I can relax, and then I'm free to move. And so I can uproot him. Even though he's kind of stuck, it doesn't matter so much. So you see?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm sure you've experienced this with all the guys you're training with.
Yes.
All these guys you're training with can do that. Alex can do it, Seiko Mac can do it, Albert can do it. Taigong, therefore, is an idea to help us get into that proper, relaxed, open condition. One other idea that's connected. Also, Taigong, let me explain it this way, helps us, two things. It helps us become one, to unify our body, but in a relaxed way. In Tai Chi, they call that Peng, P-E-N-G.
Yeah.
You've all heard of that?
Yeah.
Yes? Peng? You?
Sorry?
Have you heard of Peng? Peng energy? It's okay. It's not a problem. Peng is a word that they use all the time in Tai Chi. And it's one of the four main energies, although there are other energies. In fact, knowledgeable Tai Chi people say Peng is everything. So what's Peng? Peng is an expanding from inside in all directions without moving the outside. So, if he's touching me and I expand and this moves, that's not Peng. I'm just pressing it. But if I expand, see, like that, but I don't move the outside, I don't try to go anywhere, then the Peng state, the internal expansion state, unifies my body. So one joint moves, everything will move, and the power comes in. Now, whether we call it Peng, whether we say Taigong, which they always talk about, is a rising energy from the anus or cranium up through the spine to the crown of the head. That's a expansion in that direction. But the true internal condition we want, which again allows us to move with power and be less affected by resistance, is an overall expansion, not just one direction. It's up, it's down, it's everywhere. It's through the arms, through the legs, it's down to the ground, it's back up from the ground, up. It's all through the torso, the neck, the back of the head. Everywhere inside of you is an expansion and opening. I like to think of it like this. Okay, so I'm sure you've all been told this too, since we're talking about Taigong.
No, it's good to hear it this way.
Taigong, they always talk about as raising up. So a lot of people try to do it by physically lifting up. Okay? So if I do that, I think I'm raising up. But if you look at me, what's really happening is, see, I'm stretching. So if you touch my back, good, and I do that, you can feel the muscles.
Yes.
All I'm really doing is tensing. So the real Qigong, and I'm sure you've heard this, the real Qigong is just the idea of raising, not trying to make a physical effort to change.
It's just a feeling.
It's a thought.
Thought.
Yes, and it's a feeling.
Feeling.
You're right. It will definitely put a feeling in your body, but it's not a effort. It's not a you're not forcing anything. When Chu Shantin taught, and I'm talking, for 60 years, what he stressed more than anything else, one single instruction, more than any other, which came to him from McMahon, was use no force. Well, we all know that use no force means we don't press back and use force against the point of contact. That's what we call fighting the point of contact. But the idea of using no force goes way beyond that. It's no force in the mind, no force in the body. So if I stretch up to do my Qigong, that's using force. And I might think I'm doing it right, and I might feel like, but I'm just creating tension, which inhibits movement.
So it's, you can ask,
Yes,
it's more
please.
the way of being than the way of doing.
It's a way of being. Absolutely. Absolutely, it's a way of being. There's a lot of ideas I share with you, but you forgive me if it seems like I'm picking ideas from different places. But
The most comprehensible so far.
okay,
It's very good, just
I'll keep going.
don't worry about us.
I'll come back to the proper condition because that is the basis for everything, to make everything work. But along the lines of what you said, which I like very much, is a way of being. I have one idea, phrase, about the way I teach. And that is, in my Kung Fu, there's no how-to. Now, most of us, how we learn, it's to know how to do something correctly. K-N-O-W, to know. Understand?
Yes, yes.
So we go and we pay this guy or that guy, take this class, whatever. Could be Wing Chun, it could be playing the piano, it could be anything. And the learning is all about learning how to know how to do things correctly. But in my Kung Fu, there's no, N-O, how to. Never any how to do something. So what the hell does that mean? It means we need to become a way of being instead of a way of doing. So I like what you said. I agree. So, Qigong. It's not how do we know, K-N-O-W, how to raise up that energy, how to make it happen. No. It's just to have the idea of it. We must start, and you've all been told this. Didn't say it's easy, but we must start by relaxing, which means releasing, letting go. Sifu Ma talks about the idea of relaxing, among other things, as feeling your own body weight and feeling the parts of you, their weight. For instance, if you relax, how do it feel the weight? You relax a joint. Everything below that joint, you can then feel the weight of it because you're not holding on to it. So when you relax this joint, the elbow, you can move your forearm, right? So now you can rest your forearm's weight on it by relaxing your elbow. And that's not pressing, it's resting, placing. Yeah, now that's good, but that's not just your forearm, it's your whole arm. That's even better. But you did it because this relaxed and this relaxed. But to train, to practice, you can break them into pieces. So you feel how to relax the elbow joint and the forearm can drop. So then you can feel the weight of your forearm. When you relax the shoulder joint, the upper arm falls. When you relax both, yeah, now you can feel the weight of the motion, right? If I start to press here, and you, just by using the word press, that's an idea.
What should I do?
Well, I'm telling you what you are doing, okay? And it's normal. I do it too. It's not correct, but we all do it. Another thing I always say, we're all wrong. We're always wrong. It's just a question of how wrong are we, okay? So,
Ma told us that we are always right. It's only a question how right we are.
oh, okay.
So nothing is wrong.
And when I say wrong, I mean wrong condition. So when you let go, you can feel your arms weight right there. But when I start depressing, and just by saying the word press puts that idea in his mind, there's a little tension creeps in. And if he doesn't press, he collapses and gets hit. We don't want that, right?
Yeah.
But if he does, if he stops my hand, then my force can go. You see, and he feels it right there. Am I right?
Yeah.
Feel free to disagree.
Okay. I feel it.
So we have to have a way to support force without collapsing, but without tensing. So how do we do that? It's a way of being. That way of being is the condition that I speak of. Taigong is an idea that begins the condition to help us feel the proper condition. Because when we have the proper condition and he presses, then I'm not collapsing, but he can't feel tension. So now I'm free to move. And look what happens to his body. Okay? His body just effortlessly goes away because of my movement. So, okay. Now I'm going to give you what I consider to be a very important and helpful idea so we can develop Kung, or we can develop the proper internally expanded condition. Fly. But first, when we talk about opening up inside everywhere, in all directions, that's Kung. When we talk about expanding everywhere, without moving the outside, because that would be present, that's Kung, same thing. We could call it the Chi is moving everywhere inside of us. Same thing, okay? One idea of the same thing is internal circulation, right? Every place is circulating freely, not forcing, just moving. Kung is Taigong is an opening of the hose. Okay.
The holes?
Like a garden hose.
Here.
Oh,
Like a garden, yes.
Yeah, oh,
Yes.
water, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Adito.
Like a garden
Yeah.
hose. Water, and when it's open, water can go through easily. When there's a blockage, it gets stuck, right?
Yeah.
So Taigong, it's not the movement. It's just the opening. So the energy can rise by itself. It's creating a free path. So energy can circulate. And it's not just there. It's everywhere. Okay?
Like,
so, yes.
like fountain.
Like what?
Fountain.
Yeah, but not. Yes. Fine. Yes. It's an internal circulation everywhere. So now, having said all that, whether we call it Chi or expansion, or opening, or Kung, or internal circulation, the important thing, fine. How do we do it? How do we train it? Well, one idea that I have, which I found helpful, was the idea of getting the chills. You know what it means to get the chills, goosebumps? You know, goosebumps, the chicken skin?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe you're listening to a song, or you're watching a movie,
Yeah.
and some
Scary
feeling
movie,
comes over you, and it's like
Yeah.
the chills.
Yeah.
I'm getting it right now, right? It's that is, to me, is the condition, but at a high level. Okay? It's an opening. It's a movement inside. When you get the chills, it has nothing to do with the hand moving, with any part of you moving externally. It's a completely internal condition of strong circulation. Okay? It's not about going anywhere. So my number one law is don't go anywhere. So when you touch me, okay, and if you're thinking about going somewhere, I don't care how you do it. Whether you use your foot on the ground to press, whether you use joint rotation, okay, whether you try to move any part of yourself, if the idea, consciously or subconsciously in your mind, is to go somewhere, you'll start fighting. Okay. So you have to not try to go anywhere, just rest. It's better, but rest more. Yeah. See how you let go? You feel yourself let go, right? So now, you still need to be able to move. But if you, okay, next idea. Think not what to move. That's knowing how to move. But
One more time, please.
yes, don't think of knowing how to move, what to move. Do I move my joints? Do I move my body? Do I move my center?
Okay.
Know how to. Don't worry about how to do it. Just the idea of movement itself. Not what do I move, but just the idea of movement itself. Okay? And just let it happen.
I should do it.
Yeah, you're doing
You
it.
want me to do it, okay?
Just the idea of movement. Now, the idea itself. There's still part of you. Feel free to disagree. There's still part of you that's thinking about moving your hand.
But that's very different. You know,
Okay. Don't think about moving your hand.
So how should I move it?
Okay. Move nothing. Just the idea of movement. There. Gone. Okay. Watch.
It's like when you grab for something, you don't
Yes.
think about how you
It's
that I'm gonna
that.
hit you. I'm just doing it. I'm not.
It's natural in that sense.
Yeah.
Yes. It's one. That is the beginning of the idea of movement itself. So that movement, reaching for something, is natural. You're not using strength. You're just moving. But when you use the idea of movement itself, the idea itself, not how to move, what to move, but the idea itself of movement, then all parts of you move at the same time. But you don't experience it as you're doing something. It's just you're letting it happen. So it doesn't matter the position. The idea of movement itself. Yes? And you make the idea stronger. And see? Now I didn't do that. You did that to me. But you didn't feel anything, did
No,
you?
no.
Because
It's strange.
you weren't just moving. You weren't just moving this.
Yeah.
You weren't using this to move this. You weren't using this to move this. You weren't using this to move this. You're not
All
using
at once, yeah?
everything is moving while it stays still. Yes. I press harder. It doesn't matter to you, does it? You want to see how hard I was pressing them? Don't move. Don't move. That's how hard I was pressing. Okay? Don't move. So I can show you how hard I was pressing. That's as hard as I was pressing. He didn't feel it at all. Okay?
Nemá úplně nějaký blbý mikrofon.
Don't move. Be strong. Good. That's as hard as I was
Lukáši, bude to
pressing.
slyšet? Myslíš?
Okay? Try. Let rest. Good. Now, just the idea itself. See how that started to engage? It's okay. This is not easy. Everything inside moves without going anywhere. That's why that's my number one law. Don't go anywhere. Stay where you are. Move in place. Back. Don't move outside. Better. Now look, I'm pressing it hard. You feel it? Now let everything just go. Everything. Don't think the hand. All parts of you. More. Inside. Yeah. More. Yeah, look. It feels like he's not doing anything, right?
Tak toto, až to skončí, tak dáváš.
That's why they call this nimlik, mind force. Because it seems to the guy doing it that you're not doing anything, it's just the idea, and the power comes out.
Because I can stay relaxed all the time.
It's what's necessary is to stay relaxed all the time, which is very difficult for all of us. When there's stuff going on, and this guy's strong and fast, I tend to tense up too. So we need to just rest. Okay? He moves around. Move more. Okay? So if I stop moving inside, then he can uproot. Everything has to be free to move. You feel it? So, the chills is an internal circulation which allows us to have strong structure without any tension. And that leaves us free to move. So, Qigong is just the beginning of how to turn on or create a condition where the internal circulation can happen. That's how I think of Qigong. So it's going back to what you said. It's not something you do, Qigong. I could also say internal circulation is not something you do. When you get the chills, do you do that?
No, it just happens by itself.
It happens by itself. Like a switch is flipped in the brain. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's adrenaline, some chemical action.
Possibly.
But there's no denying the feeling of it. Everybody knows how strong a feeling the chills are. To me, that's a real good example of qi circulation, of power. Qigong, again, is just to create the pathway for the circulation to emerge. Okay? Any questions so far?
Yes.
Yes, please.
It is a opening path, and I would like to ask: is that relaxation or opening?
Okay, good question. Relaxation.
Between those.
We must be relaxed, or the path shuts down. It won't be open. So relaxation is a prerequisite. It's what we must be sufficiently relaxed so we can create an open pathway for the energy to move, for the circulation to happen. Relaxing is not the circulation. The circulation is, in the traditional Chinese terms, would be the qi.
So we have to have both things, Sung,
Sung, yes.
and Peng as well.
Yes.
Both at once.
Song is a condition that allows the Pong to occur. If you don't have Song, you won't have Pong.
Really?
Yes.
So it's, huh?
Song is relaxation.
Yes.
I let it go down, like melting down.
Yes.
Something like the feeling is like,
Yes, but without collapsing.
yeah, without collapse.
So they say, hand up, body down. Hand up, body down. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and collapsing is when you put,
But don't let it fall.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this is collapsing.
Right, that's right. Exactly. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay, so hand up. Yeah, but don't let it fall. Don't let it fall.
Ah, okay.
Let it fall onto you. Let go. Yeah. Now, you see how you feel relaxed?
Yeah.
Now you want to keep that feeling when I let go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, just, okay, thank you. I want to add one thing, which you're going to remember we've talked about, so we won't turn. So we must relax so all the gears can turn. When I talk about the idea itself of movement, not what to move or how to move it, but the idea of movement itself. I'm talking about letting all the gears turn in place without going anywhere, okay? So all the gears turn in place. Yeah. Now that gives him a structure. Now he lets the gears turn more. And look, that uproots my center. Don't take my word for it. Somebody else push him. Anybody. Okay. Yeah. Now the idea of all the gears turning. Don't try to move this.
Yeah.
You start pushing. And the more you turn the gears, no force, just easy. Let them spin in place. What do you feel from the thing? Nothing. It's fine. Turn them more.
I'm trying.
Oh, it's okay. Good. Now, don't think of moving.
Yeah.
Just turn all the gears. Yeah. Relax now. Okay, turn. Okay, now all of them.
Okay.
All of them. All the vertebrae. Yeah. Now you come over and hold it. What do you feel? Something coming to you?
I feel like this.
As long as I start to
Have that
try to
idea.
move also the vertebra.
Right, yeah, the idea of movement. Movement of what? Movement of the gears. Movement of the joints. Now, there's all of the joints. So, all of them. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, elbow, wrist, the vertebrae. Imagine them all starting to turn. But in place, meaning they're not moving inside of you from point A to point B. They stay where they are and they turn where they are.
You're not giving them any direction, like because.
Good question. The direction is independent of the turning. Okay?
One more time, please.
The direction where you want to go is your focus. That's independent of the turning. So, somebody else, anybody. Cut, hold, push a little. Good. So I relax. I start turning. Feel that? Everything is turning. Feel that? Now I have no idea where I'm going. I have no focus. My attention is everywhere. Okay? I'm turning, but my attention is everywhere. And you feel whatever you feel. Okay? Now I have. See that? I add the focus. The focus is where I want to go. Not, I want this to go there. Because then it's just part of me. Yes?
Focus is idea. No, focus is again idea. Yeah, for example, in mind, like
Yes,
I
yes.
want in head, I want only here. It's not just moving.
That's right. It's the idea of
Idea.
where you want to go.
Yeah, no moving with hands, for example.
Yes. And it's not an idea like I tell myself I must go there.
Yeah.
Because then what do you feel now?
I feel this.
I'm pushing you. You feel in your hand, right? The pressure in his hand. Correct me if I'm wrong. What you feel is the pressure in your hand is getting stronger. Because I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
So it's not I have in my mind to move this there. That's why my number one rule is stay where you are. The mind idea of staying where I am. I just let everything turn in place while I'm looking where I want to go. There.
So there is a condition that's everything's moving.
Yes.
Then there is a focus. That's where I want to go.
Yes.
And then finally there is a movement.
Yes.
As a result of this.
Yes.
Can I ask you? First, I understand the idea stay where you want, yeah, and then the gears can turn without going somewhere, just on the place, like.
Yes.
And then you have the idea. But then when you want to go, there is another thing, like when they told us don't fight with the, you know what I mean? Don't fight here.
Right. You're already not fighting because you relaxed
Yeah.
and you.
Okay, not fight, but pushing that. For one thing is that I'm on the place and I'm trying to turn the gears.
Right.
But then one other thing is, for example, I want to punch you.
So punch.
Yeah, so I have to go.
Yeah, look.
So I have to go. Okay.
You didn't feel anything, did you?
No.
Again, I understand your question, and it's a good question. Because hey, Kaufman can talk all day, but what's this got to do with fighting?
No.
Don't I have to hit you? Yeah. Don't I have to move? Yeah. But I'm not trying to move this. I'm let everything move, and my hand just goes where you want to go. So
I just mean that everyone told us that we fight things, we always, when we're moving here where we touch them.
Yes.
And everyone told us, like, cut the forearm off and move other way. So that's just
yes.
how to,
It's all
what is
true.
for your explanation, how to cut the forearm off or not to press in that point of where we touch.
The idea of doing your Wing Chun with no forearm, which is a common idea, is so you don't start pressing the point of contact. So you don't use muscles. So people can practice turning the forearm off like you don't have it. But then they start using the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like
That's what we do. Yeah.
So then
Again.
you get moved through there.
Yeah.
So you must turn everything off. Yeah. Now in place, the joints just spin. And then the hand just goes. Yes! Okay? Now, if this guy's watching, he goes, what? Come on, that's bullshit, right? No. Okay. And if you ask him, what did he do? Wow. If you believe what you see, then you might ask someone, wow, what did you do? And what did he say? Nothing? Okay. Or he might say, correct me if I'm wrong, I just moved my hand.
Yeah.
Right?
I just wanted to move my hand.
It seems like, therefore, it comes a full circle. Okay? In the beginning, we know not to fight. So we practice relaxing. Right? Then we use something else to move this instead of muscle force. So we try to turn the joints. We press with our foot, bracing. Okay? Or we have the idea of the dantian turn inside, like that. Okay? Okay? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. But then, we think that these methods are good and correct, but they're only limited, partial. So it leads to a great deal of frustration, which, if we're honest, happens to all of us. I'm no exception. I touch hands with somebody, and it's like, I'm trying to use the right method, and I just end up fighting, and I know it's not right, but I don't know what to do. Okay? So it almost doesn't matter what method I'm using. It's still not correct. It's not helping me very much. Okay? So then I learned to use nothing. That's what we're talking about. But I add to the nothing. The nothing is the result of filling everything up. Okay? The filling up is the turning inside of everything. Okay? And then I just move the hand.
So you're saying, like, there are, I see there is a beginner.
Yes.
And the beginner can't do what you're now showing to us. So there are the methods, like, for example, cut the forearm.
Yes.
So they can train something, and it's already bringing them some results. They are slowly getting to know the body, and finally maybe they get to what you said, that everything is moving. You're doing nothing, and you're actually having the results by doing nothing.
Yes.
Like that, there are let's say teaching methods, or like the ways how to make the person, because that's what, like, I struggle sometimes with that. Somebody tells me, oh, it's like this, but I need to relax. Help me how to relax first, because I know that without the relaxation I can't do that, so.
Now all of you have been taught Zamzong, the standing meditation. Zamzong, it's called.
Yeah.
He knows.
Post standing.
He knows.
Jamjong, they call it.
Yes.
Jamjong.
Yes, Zamzong.
Yeah, Jamjong in.
Do you all know that?
I don't.
I don't.
Okay. Well, very briefly, in the last 6, 7, 8 years of his life, Chu Shantin taught his students Zamzong,
Okay.
which is a training method, which is used frequently in many internal arts, and most predominantly in Yichuan, where their main training method is Zamzong. Okay? So whatever position you take with your arms, this is the classic one, like you're holding a post. Okay? And you don't move the outside. So it's very difficult mentally and physically to do this. It may seem like, what's the big deal? I'm just standing there. But try it for 5 minutes. You're going to get tired, your legs are going to shake, your muscles are going to hurt. Your mind, it's like freaking torture, okay? You can't concentrate. So gradually, over time, you practice this. You can do it for up to 20 minutes. Some people do it for up to an hour. It's very difficult. The purpose, and it's to train internal ability. Why? Because one of the major purposes of Samyang training is to allow the body to release, to stop holding up, is to let go. They also refer to it as stacking. One part on another part, on another part, on another part, all the way to the ground, stacking up. So an upper part rests on what's below it and so forth, all the way to the ground. That's the same idea as hand up, body down.
If I can say, I understand you like it's some kind of cultivation because you stand like this and the muscles get weak, everything hurts, then you need to use your mind to, it's like fighting with the mind to more release and keep it going.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not like
the body gets tired,
Yeah.
so the muscles give up. When the muscles get tired enough, they just give up, and then they settle on their own. Okay. You know the styles of kung fu, like Hung Gar and others,
Yes.
where they have the low horse stance,
Yeah.
and like in classic old-time teaching method, they would make the students stand in those low horse stances for a long time, and when and it's very difficult, and the legs would shake, and the students get really tired, and they start to come up, and the teacher comes by and hits them, and makes them get back down, right? The whole idea of that, when you do it long enough, I don't mean one time, I mean for months, years, the muscles just give up. The mind gives up. The muscles give up. And the body finds its own place. This is what they learn how to do in yoga. That's why yoga is excellent training for internal martial arts. Because whatever position the body takes in yoga, they practice how to let go, how to release. So the body finds its alignment to the ground. You're not fighting your own body, you're not fighting gravity. So if I touch you, I'm not fighting gravity. If I do this, I'm fighting gravity. If I let go, I'm not. Now, I let go of this, my shoulder joint, and my elbow joint. Now that's my arm's weight resting on you. I'm not resting it. This is important. See, I'm sure he talks about this with you. I'm not resting the arm's weight on the ground. Why not?
because if you put it out, you will fall down.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, thank you. So he runs around and hits me. No, run around. Yeah. No.
Run around.
See? Okay, just do it. See? I fall down and clear path the head. So it's like if you're resting on me, I can hit. But if I'm resting, so when he moves, my hand falls this way. We call that forward gravity. Okay? Forward gravity. You with me there?
Yeah. So we rest on his center of mass.
Thank you. Yes. I rest on his center. I don't press my way in. I just rest. Now I said the arm's weight is resting on his center, not down, but resting on him. But if I'm not resting, and everything else rests down to the ground. Okay? If this doesn't rest on the ground, like I have some tension in my knees or my ankles or my hips, so I squeeze them a little bit. Even if this is resting on him, he moves his hand. He can still uproot me through where my tension is. But if I relax all the joints, push. Come on.
Ty hodně červený.
It's harder for him to move.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Question is, when we were with the Ma, like that was for me a little bit new. When we do the Chiso, like when we do the Futsal, that he was not like showing us that we should rest like on you, but we were resting like this. So it's probably the defensive abilities are like better because I am already going when the attacker like to go, so I can control him instead of like having this forward direction or forward force.
It's like you said a minute ago. It's a process of steps of learning.
Yeah.
First, you learn how to rest on your partner's center. What Sifu Ma was sharing with you is he's helping you to rest on yourself. Okay? But you're still connected to my center. Okay? That's why now you move your hand anywhere you reach me, because you're connected to me. You were rested on yourself, but you're connected to me. Yeah, see? So when you move, it moves me. Okay? So instead of I rest on you, I rest on myself, but I'm still connected. So now I move myself to move you. That's a little higher level than just resting on you. And the value of it is that when I rest on myself, you can't feel me as much.
He can't feel you that much.
That's right.
Calm.
Yes. You cannot feel my center that
Ah,
much.
okay.
If I rest on you, you know where I am, right? If I rest on myself, you don't know where I am. Okay? So it's one is just a little progression from the other.
Yeah.
But first you must learn how to relax.
Yes.
Okay?
You were saying about floating, settle down to you.
I used to talk about floating a lot, and yes, it can be the feeling of floating is very good. But if I start with the idea of floating, then I might try to lift up, or I might have no. See, I'm floating. Now hit me. I'm going to get hit.
He was
Okay.
explaining
'Cause
the
I'm not-
concept of floating. Now I am boat, floating on the water, and here I am water, floating.
Okay.
Floating on the.
I understand. Okay.
Just
Fine.
example.
If what you mean by floating, and that probably is you're like if you're floating on the water, you're not holding your arm off the water. Your arm is resting on the surface of the water. You place it there and it floats, right? So you place this on here and let it float. Yes.
So his first step is floating,
So it's the
and then he
footing.
settle down to like feeling your center.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Chushan Ten would talk about placing. So you place this on me. You just place it. You don't do anything with it. You just place it. Like you put something on a table.
Like a cup of tea.
Yeah, you just place it there. Right. Okay? You're not going anywhere. You just put it there. Right. Okay? And now you focus on it. Ah, good. Now, when I move, you must let the joints move. Your joints. No, I said when I move. So place it. Okay? And focus. Okay. Now, you see how you effortlessly turn my force away? I try to hit you and I get deflected. You didn't do anything.
Yeah,
It happens by itself.
it's like software, again. Yeah.
Because your condition is good and you're relaxed and you're letting me move your joints. So I'm automatically getting deflected.
Absolútne nemusí nad tým premýšľať, proste ty máš fokus na neho a to odvádza samé. Proste nerobí absolútne, ja nemyslím na to, absolútne.
So what happens now? You place it and let me move you, and I do that. Now, you let me move him this turn. So when I move, you turn this joint. Let me do it, you don't do it. And so he ends up here, right? That's what happened.
Yes.
But then I keep going, you see? And now, what do you feel? Tension. Because there's no more movement. He only let that move. But then he's not letting everything else move. So you must let everything move all the time. Yes.
So it's not static. It's not static action, but always dynamic. It's
その
always
通り、
moving.
約束と棒に
The idea is always keeping the gears moving.
で、これに向けば。
Always ready to move.
Always ready to. 今棒に動くわけ。これみんな。
The rule is you must always be free to have the potential of all parts of you. You ever hear in Tai Chi there's a phrase, you must not be double weighted. Anybody ever hear of being double weighted? You heard of it? You heard of it?
Nope.
Anyone else? Double weighted. You ever hear of that? Being double weighted?
Tai Chi,
Tai Chi
double
by the
weighted.
Viras,
Okay. Double weighted. People think it means, a lot of people think it means, where's my weight? On this foot, on this foot. If my weight's on both feet, I weight on both, I'm double weighted. That's not correct.
They said it's wrong. Yeah.
That's not true. That's not what double weighted is.
Yeah.
Double weighted simply means that there's a place in you that's not free to move. Okay? So,
So it has nothing to do with the legs, how they say.
if I have all my weight on one foot, like this,
Yes.
this one can move.
Yes.
This one cannot.
Uh-huh.
I have to, I have to shift my weight so I can then move this. That's double weighted. Okay, so it doesn't mean weight on both feet. It means that I created through tension or where I put my weight that stops me from moving. So I don't have the potential for moving a part of myself any longer. Remember, I said the important thing is everything must be free to move all the time. Okay? Now, so I must be free to move either foot without shifting the weight first. Okay? He must be free to move all these joints. Okay? Without unlocking first to move it. So, right, he's not stopping my movement, and he's not stopping his own movement. So what you said a minute ago is correct. It's not static, it's dynamic. So everything has to have the potential for movement, which of course is psychologically a big challenge. Because when this guy's attacking me, and he wants to hit me, our natural reaction is to tense up so I can protect myself so I don't get hit. If I'm relaxed and I let movement happen, then his force hit me, gets turned away by itself. I don't say, oh wait, I ended up here. This is bad Wing Chun because my elbow's too close to me, choke you. Oh no, I had to be out here, I had to do this, okay? No, okay? So in my Kung Fu, there's no how to. No, I must do this, I must do that. That's how to do it. No. I just need to let everything move. So he moves, everything moves. I let it move. If I'm not, and here let's revisit the idea of being settled. If I'm not settled and connected to him, so here, I'm not settled, okay? And he hits me, I let everything move. He can still hit me, okay? Because I have no defense. But if I settle on him and I let everything move, he still can't hit me, can you? See, I still have a structure that's protecting me, right? So that's how we practice our Chi Set.
It means even if you are not moving, you're still moving inside.
Yes,
Like outside there is no move, but you still, the gears are
I spin.
spinning. Yeah.
So they're always free to continue moving. They don't get stuck.
They are ready to move when physically, when it is needed. But they are stuck. They need to start and move.
Yes.
There'll be a delay always. Like
Yes.
if they are moving,
I
then
like what you said. I agree. If you relax, if he relaxes, now the idea of all the joints spinning in place. Good. Now, if they continue to spin, see, there's no delay in his movement. His movement, my movement, is his movement. That's what it means to be one with your partner, okay? He becomes one with me because he creates the proper condition in himself, okay? He didn't decide to move. He just lets the movement happen because I'm turning his joints, okay? If you don't have the idea of spinning, you just relax, like there's no spinning, and I move, you see, then he has to, if he doesn't want to collapse like what just happened, okay? So you relax, but there's no spinning. Then he wants to deal with my punch. Then he has to start the spinning. You have to go from nothing to the movement. Too late, okay? You're always reacting. So I like what you said. If you're always spinning inside, then there's nothing you have to do other than keep up the spinning, and your defense is automatic. And yet every place I go, it's still moving me. Okay? Now that concept, being free to move, we've just demonstrated applies to the shoulder and the elbow joint. Okay? But the same idea applies to the full body. Being free to move the body, chunky, being free to pivot, being free to step. Okay? So if his force is too strong, it's not just my arm that moves. My body may have it. So, and I know that Sifu Ma talks about this a lot. There's no need to stay here and not move. If his force is too strong, walk around. So my body doesn't stand here and fight with me. Maybe I can. I let all the joints turn. Okay? Maybe I can do it. But maybe not. Maybe he's just good, but too strong for me. So he comes with power. And he's still not fighting. So the idea of everything has to be free to move applies to the whole body, not just his joints. So this is what we want to practice in Chun. First we must have the condition, which is Chun, relaxing. That creates an open. I'm going to say it and come back to it. Relaxing. And then the idea of all the joints of ears turning in place. Okay? And then practicing letting those movements happen. Chisa. 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 Just do what you normally do. Just chisa with it. So I'm just letting all the movement. You don't feel I'm fighting you, right? I'm not fighting you. I'm not holding a shape. I'm not holding a shape. I'm not holding a position. I'm just resting. Letting the movement happen. If it gives me too much power, you guys chisa with Sifu Ma? Anybody?
Yes.
Who chisa with Sifu Ma?
Just a little bit.
That's what he feels like, right? You can't get to him. He's just,
He was very soft and very strong at
yeah.